Thanks, Clive, and welcome to the Late Look North. Good evening, I'm Sharon Barbour. A woman whose 2-year-old daughter died after contracting 2 rare strains of meningitis within weeks of each other says she will fight for answers. Layla Normington first contracted the disease in June 2023 and she was treated at Harrogate Hospital. When she became unwell again, staff thought it was an infection. An investigation carried out by the hospital identified missed opportunities in Layla's case, but couldn't confirm whether or not her death could have been avoided. You may find Jamie Coulson's report upsetting.
Ready? You went backwards.
Layla Normington was a much-loved and much-wanted child. The 2-year-old died in July 2023 from meningitis, having only been treated for a different strain of the disease at Harrogate Hospital the previous month. On her first admission in June, she was treated with antibiotics and sent home, but when she deteriorated again, hospital staff initially believed it was an upper respiratory tract infection. Her parents say they have unanswered questions about whether a recurrence of meningitis should have been considered sooner.
She'd been so unwell I couldn't sleep on a night because I was so concerned about how how unwell she was becoming, because it mirrored exactly the same as the first episode of pneumococcal meningitis.
The Trust's patient safety investigation report has identified multiple missed opportunities in Layla's care. On the 22nd of July, 3 days before her death, Layla could have been admitted based on her presentation and medical history. This may have prompted further investigations, but the report couldn't determine if it would have changed the outcome. It also found that antibiotics might have worked had they been given that day, but it said her clinical presentation wouldn't have merited it. Overall, the report couldn't say whether the missed opportunities, if changed, would have made a difference. The family is now taking legal action, but the Trust has denied liability.
They feel like they were not listened to throughout, all of Layla's care and treatment, but also through the investigation process as well. So they just want that understanding as to what happened, if anything more could have been done, and how that would have changed the overall outcome for Layla as well.
A recurrence of meningitis wasn't considered by staff until later the following day when she deteriorated further. The report found it hadn't been considered sooner because of how rare it is and Layla's clinical presentation. Shortly after this video was taken, she suffered seizures and had to be resuscitated. Her dad was asked to help time them because there wasn't a clock on the wall, something the report said was inappropriate.
What he witnessed and what he went through at that moment haunts him every single day, because he was part of a crash team looking after his dying child.
The Trust has offered its deepest sympathies to the family and says following Layla's death it commenced an investigation with an independent external expert. It says the findings were shared with the coroner, who determined the death was from natural causes. Jamie Coulson, BBC Look North.
To mark 4 years since Russia began its invasion of Ukraine, a peace march was held through Newcastle city centre today. Ukrainian students were joined by other members of the community carrying the Ukrainian flag and singing traditional songs. Delays are expected for people travelling in the Lake District as the Windermere Ferry is out of action for 2 weeks. Westmoreland and Furness Council say it's part of planned works to fix the ferry. Diversions are in place for drivers. Newcastle United progressed to the Champions League last 16 tonight, although they had a tougher game than they expected in a 3-2 win over Azerbaijani side Karabag in their playoff second leg. Adam Samuel has been watching.
Leading 6-1 on aggregate, only the gods could stop Newcastle from... The replays of that goal was still showing when Joe Linton made it 2, just 80 seconds later, which Aaron Ramsdale saved, though he could do nothing about Elvin Kafaguliev's follow-up. 3-2.
And Middlesbrough's frustrating recent championship form continued as they settled for a point against relegation-threatened Leicester City. The final score, a 1-1 draw at the Riverside. Well, it was so much milder today, which was lovely. Let's get the weather for the rest of the week. Here's Paul Mooney.
Good evening. The mild weather continues through the rest of the week pretty much. There will be a fair amount of cloud around, there will be some rain at times as well. There shouldn't be too much overnight tonight. It's mostly dry, well-broken cloud. Cloud thickest in the north, clearer spells further south and east, and we'll see temperatures under those clear spells with lighter winds, down a bit cooler than it's been in recent nights, maybe 1 or 2 spots down to about 4 degrees Celsius. Into tomorrow then, it's a dry start, some good sunny spells in the east at first. That sunshine will fade though as the cloud thickens up from the west. That thicker cloud will bring outbreaks of rain across Cumbria onto the Pennines, eventually the odd spot further east later in the day. Temperatures, well, probably the mildest day of the week, 14 Celsius on the cards, and that's southwesterly wind. Cloudy day on Thursday, some patchy rain, wet and windy overnight, showers for Friday.
Well, enjoy the sun while it lasts. That's all from us. Good night. Bye-bye.